So I just want to take a minute to talk about the spiritual battle and how it relates to everyone. I don't have this young man's name anywhere in my package this morning, but I think his name is Nicholas Cruz. It is? And he's 19 years old. And Nicholas has admitted to doing the shooting there at the school in Florida in court. And asked, why did you do it? He said, because the voices told him to. And now you have people, calling him all kinds of names and blah, 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 right? So I'm thinking about this, and I want it to be something that we all learn from. I've said that our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. And whichever God you serve, the prince of darkness will influence you from the inside out. He would speak to you in your head, in your mind. You hear his voice, and the voice sounds like your voice, but it's not your voice. He's imitating your voice as though it is you. And he say things like, your day is going to be bad today, and now you're feeling bad about your day. He says, your day is going to be good today. And now you're feeling good about your day. He speaks to you about when things get or seems to be tough. He can speak to you in a way where you will commit suicide. You would kill your own self because believing his voice cause you to believe that life is doomed, that it's over, there's no way out. And because you're not understanding that what you listen to is the spirit of evil, you believe these things to be true because you're so identified with that voice. Some people even think that the voice in their head is the voice of God, because when they're reading the scriptures, that voice interprets the scriptures for you, and you think that it's a true interpretation. You either believe that you're interpreting the scriptures or God is interpreting those scriptures for you. And he set you up to believe something that's not true. And even though interpreting those scriptures doesn't change your life, you still believe it to be true. Lots of people, especially children today, are being put on medication. And when they are put on medication at such a young age, which you should never, and I'm not a doctor, so if you want to take your medication, take it. But medication, antidepressant pills, and whatever these stupid doctors are giving you is not going to solve the spiritual problem that you're having. This voice, as a matter of fact, depression medication enhances that voice, because it really just put you in a state where you have no awareness or real conscious of that voice, and to know that it is a deceiving voice. And it tells you, it can make you look at another person walking down the road and tell you that this person is thinking badly of you. This person is talking about you, and you believe the lie. Don't even know what the person's thinking, but you believe it and react to it accordingly, whatever it has you to do. This voice can tell you that you're a failure. And a lot of young people nowadays are coming from broken homes, meaning that the fathers are not around. And even if the fathers are around, fathers and mothers are not getting along because they're angry. They are battling it out due to their anger that was passed down to them from their parents, failing parents. This voice can also tell you that you're wonderful and deceive you to make you feel that you're wonderful and you're not. It can make you feel that you're not wonderful, and you believe that. I want you to pay attention. And some people actually believe that the voice in their head is the voice of God. It is not. It's of your father, the devil. He is influencing you. And you give it power to influence you. You give that voice, which is of your father, the devil, authority over you when you have anger. All people who have anger are controlled by that voice. It makes you think and feel things that are not true. It makes you overreact to situations. It makes you do things beforehand and you mess up. And just, it's the wrong voice to be listening to, but you can't help it because the anger that you have is the nature of the father of that voice. And that's why you're controlled by it. So when Nicholas said the voices told him that, I understand what he's talking about. I counsel and deal with men of all races, all income, who are dealing with that very same voice. And they are not going around killing people, but they are doing other destructive things in their lives. Just simply overreacting to a situation is a destructive thing in your life. And you give power to that voice whenever you overreact. And these boys and girls who are coming from these broken homes, they've been raised by so-called step-parents. You should not be having step-parents over your children. Make the sacrifice yourself if you're not married or gotten divorced, and do what's right and be there for them in the right way so they can see the right way to go. There are two voices. One is the voice that you hear in your mind, which is the voice of Satan. It's not yours. And then there's a voiceless voice, which is the voice of God. And that voiceless voice is revelation. He reveals things to you in love. He guides you in a voiceless way. That's why he said, my children shall know me by my voice. And many Christians and non-Christians alike believe the voice is God. It's not. And it will make you do things that you would not ordinarily do. This boy did not come into the earth just to kill people. But somewhere he was let down. His parents had him, put him up for adoption for whatever reason. And when you're not raised by good parents, it set you up for this kind of, action and other things. And it's not a mental illness. It's a spiritual possession. You are possessed with the spirit of darkness. Medication can't solve that. Passing more laws will not solve that. Getting rid of guns will not solve that. You have to overcome that by overcoming your anger, overcoming that spirit by forgiving, so that when you forgive, God will forgive you, and he will take that spirit away from you. Then you can be guided by the spirit of perfect love, which is God's nature, the voiceless voice. Medications, gun control, more laws, the government can't do anything about it. It's you going to have to forgive so that God can restructure or change your nature. It is insane. And to come up with more medication, to come up with more laws, and the government is not enforcing the laws that are on the book already. Right now, the Democrats and right-wing Republicans are trying to let all the prisoners out of jail for votes only and for power. They're not enforcing tough laws. We can't even put a wall around the border. It's a spiritual problem that only you can do something about it by realizing that you're wrong and forgiving, repent, so that you can be guided by the voice and love of God. I'll take your phone calls when I come back. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment.